Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Charles Brown. I want to say thank you for the purchase. Now I'm going to show you how to use the After Effects template and the Photoshop action. When you download the main file from Video Hive, you're going to get all these. The first one here is the After Effects template, and you have the Photoshop action, instruction files, and this is the action that is going to prepare all the comprising elements into the files that we need for After Effects. Let's go to the Photoshop action. So I included the premium version, which is this very result here. And if you want to achieve a more detailed result, then you will need to download the extended version from Graphic River. The link is here. Files needed, and you can download it from there. And you should also get these two audio files from Audio Jungle for the template, and you can download these two fonts. They are free fonts, so download them and install them. And you have this instruction display here. Run the action, import the files, the layers, animate. You can also change the texture of the desk and the floor, and you can also use the Audio Jungle files that was used to create the template, and you can also change the text with any font you want. Alright, let's begin. The process is quite very simple, and I'm going to show you how it works. I'll close all this now. Just open the photo you want to use in Photoshop. The next thing to do is to check the image size. Go to image size, and if the photo is lower than 4000, change it to 4000. Okay? The reason for this is because the After Effects template is in 4K resolution, and I recommend you using high quality photo in order to achieve an outstanding result. So make sure that constraint proportions is checked when you want to change the values, and then press OK. The next thing now is to extract this model from the background. It's very fast and easy. Just press Ctrl or Command A to select everything, and then use the quick selection tool. Hold down your Alt or Option key in Mac, and then subtract any area you want to subtract. And of course, you can lower down the brush size by using the open and close brackets, and then you can do that. When you are done, create a new layer. The names doesn't matter. You can choose any color you want, and then you can fill it. You can just select the paint bucket tool, and then and then fill it, and then press Ctrl or Command D to deselect, and you're good to go. So this is the premium version. So if you don't want to get the extended, you can use this one, but I recommend you getting the extended version from Graphic River. You should find that like this. Go to Tools, Action, and then you can choose the version of Photoshop you're using. I'm going to use CS5 for this one, and load the brush. So to load any of the add-on files, simply double click it while your Photoshop is open. It's going to load, and we'll do the same for the pattern. Okay, good. I'm just going to take out this premium version here. We don't need it for this particular tutorial, and go to this icon here and then activate the button mode, and let's move it back. Alright, so these are some of the sub actions, and this is the main effect you have to play. So while the brush layer is selected, click on that, and action is going to render. So for the 4000 pixels wide photo, it's going to take about 5 to 20 minutes depending on the speed of your computer. And of course, if you're running it on 1000 pixel wide photo, it's going to run faster. But we want to achieve a solid result with 4000 pixel resolution for the After Effects template. So I'm going to fast forward this video now and get back to you when the rendering process is complete. Action has finished rendering, and here's the final result. And you can see that we're able to achieve a very solid, decent result with the 4000 pixels wide. Okay, and I have already done tutorial for the extended version. You can find that on YouTube. But I'm going to show you one thing here for the shader, in case if you want to add some shade on some areas, and play this one here for shader, the threshold. Click that, and you can change the threshold level value. You can increase it. So these black areas will become the shadow or the shaded area, while the white area will remain as the highlight. When you click OK, Action is going to make some adjustments, and you have it here. So what does sub action actually do is help you to adjust the final result, and you always go back to the default. So instead of going through all the layers and trying to work your way up and down, these sub actions are going to do that just for you. And if we want to reset this back to the default, just click that again, and don't change the value. Just press OK. And Action will restore it back. Like I said, if you want to learn more about this, just watch the video tutorial, and you'll learn more about all these sub actions here. And we're done with the action. The next thing to do now is to load the action that will transform all the layers and prepare that for After Effects template. So PSD to AE export. Load that, and then play the first action. So this action will also work on the premium version. It doesn't matter if it's extended or premium version, it's going to work. So you play that. And what we're going to do now is for us to create the depth map. So first just select the sub brush, a hard brush. You can increase that, the hardness. Alright. And you can also increase or decrease the brush size. And this action has already made it easy for you, has already created the colors, and already added the layer mask where you're going to paint on the area you want to actually add the colors. So for instance now, this color here, this white color, means that the nose is closer to the camera. So you paint, for instance, if you're using a landscape, so the one that is closer to the camera, you start with the brightest, and then you work your way down to the darkest. So this one is for the nose. Just paint it. All right, it's done. And the next one is the mouth and hand. So we'll paint that. So you have to first of all click on the layer mask before you start painting. And if you want to erase anything, just press X or just click that, and then you can erase any part. So we're done with the mouth. Let's do the eyes. All right, it's done. And eyebrows. So if your subject has beard, you can also paint that now. The next one is face. You can increase the brush size and then paint on the face. All right, done. And the next one is neck, ear, and hair. So we're gonna paint that now. All right, and ear. Can increase the brush size and paint on the hair. And body, paint on that. And that's it. So now we're going to play the last action, finalize canvas, and click play. And now it's going to ask you to save it, so you can save it any way you want to save it. So you can choose any place you want to save it. I'm just gonna save this one here as pure art. Let's say pure art. I just call it A. And you are now good to go. So you have this one here, depth map, and if you double click that, you can still come here and make and edit any of the fields. And any modification you make is going to update itself in After Effects. So I'm going to show you that in a while. Make sure this is closed. You don't need that. And let's go to After Effects. And we're going to open the project file. And it's here. So you have two windows, or two compositions. We have the artwork and we have the export. So the export is the one you're going to render, and this is our work area for the artwork. So if I just close this is also for the instruction, just a reminder, and of course you can hide that. All right. So just double click this area and then you can import that. It's pure art. And first, let me show you something. Let's go back. I want to show you something. When you click it, make sure that Photoshop sequence is unchecked. All right, you can change this one also to composition. Click open. Photoshop is going to ask you again, are you sure? You can say yes. Click OK. And we're going to replace these layers. So let's start from the first one, outline 1. So open this folder and then click on outline 1. You're going to find the name there, outline 1. So when you've selected that, and also this one here, hold Alt or Option key and drag to replace. Select outline 2, select the layer, and then hold down Alt or Option key, replace. Do the same for overlay sketch. It's there. Replace. And Final Sketch 3D, and Final Sketch 2.5D. Select all that 3 layers. Go to Final Sketch. And then replace. And then go to depth map. It's there. And then replace. Done. Okay, we have it here. And before also you have to change from full to quarter depending on the speed of your computer. Alright, just leave it at that. And the next thing we're going to do now is to go to 3D, out, then go to controller. So here you're going to find all the parameters. Okay, so let's go back here. First I will show you something. So just in case the position and the scale is quite different from this one, like smaller and different place, and you can adjust it by going to flat and flat reposition. Open it both, and here you can scale up and down, and all the layers for the flat is going to also scale up or scale down, and you can also adjust the X and Y positions. Okay, then do that, and then go to, let's say go to 3D out and open the 3D scale and position, and you can also copy the values and place them there, and or you can just move it all the same. And you have this 3D guide. When you click that, so it means from this point to that point, this is what you're going to see on the export area, so that when you're animating, you actually see the result. Alright, so you can turn that on and off, just in case, like if the eyes of your subject is outside the red, you can use the positioning to fix it. Alright, then fix it, something like that. Okay, so when you're done, just make sure you have this guide unchecked. Then let's close all that. And this template contains 2.5D and 3D. The 2.5Ds, if your computer is very slow and can't handle all these features, all you have to do is you go to activate animator 2 and 1. Just uncheck the 1 and check the 2. Alright, you have it there. So this way you can actually just, animate with the 2. But this is 2.D, this is not real 3D. Alright, does that. So the real 3D, I'm going to show you that now. Let's go to, just get the camera. And this is a real 3D. Alright. So it will take a toll on your computer. So if it's quite slow, just use the 2.5D. Okay. So the 2D, all you have to do is go to the 3D out, go to your camera, press P for position, add a keyframe, come down to 3D in, and here you can animate the face. Let's say you want to make sure you select the camera and then just move it. Okay, and you can also move it up, stuff like that. And then when you do that, you can see the result here. And then let's go back to our controller. I just hide all the guides. And we have 3D extrusion. And here you can extrude the 3D depth. So let's say let's put it at 1. See that? It's gone up. Let's put it at 8. That. Camera, and it's small out. You see that? Okay. So you can leave it at, so it's normally just start from 0.4 to, let's say, 1.2. But I recommend not going beyond 1, but you can, of course. Let's say put it at 2. See that? It's all out. So let's just leave it at 0.8 for this one here. It's perfect. And the next thing you have to do now is, so if you have actually stretched it a lot and you want to blend the pixels, you can come here and then just add 1, or you can add 1.2, or you can add 0 point something. When you add 1, it's going to blend the pixels. Alright, put it at 0, Go to 0. See that? You have all those marks, and you can just put 1. Fuse up the marks, and you can go to quality level, and you can increase that. The highest is 1000. So let's say I put it at 300 here. You can see that it has blended the whole thing. And if we just take that out, pixel blend, you see we have those lines because it was stretched a lot. So let's say I put like 0.8. Alright, fixed. You can leave it that way. And for you to get the full resolution, you have to change that to 1000. Let's say I put it 1000 now. And it's going to update. See that? More smoother. Okay, so this 1000 is for the render quality. So before you render it out, you have to change it to 1000. So I'll just put it back to 300 for now, while I show you some other things. Close all that. And let's say that I want to animate. I'll just take that out. I want to animate Animator 2. How does it work? All you have to do is, I'll just close my camera. So Animator 2 doesn't use camera. So you just have to go to 3D out. Okay, and then go to 2.5D. Press E to open up the effects. And then you have these two parameters there. Okay. Then go to 3D in. Go back to controller and open the face animation, and then you can animate that. Okay, when you're done, then add keyframes 1 and 2. Okay, for the horizontal and vertical. So you have that here. So there's already a start point keyframes that brings it back to the real position of the photo, and this one here in the 3D in is the one that you've animated. So when you move forward, you can see the animation taking place. So now I'm going to show you something else. Let's go back to controller, and I'm just going to hide this one. Let's use Animator 1. So when you select that layer, Final Sketch 3D, then you can select the puppet pin tool. Click on that. Let's just go to full view here, and you're going to add a pin. First, let's go to 3D out from the beginning. Then we're going to add a pin on the 4 corners. Now to pin it down, add 1, add 2, add the third one, and you can add the fourth one. So you've now locked all the 4 corners. And if there's any area of the photo that you would want to move, you can do that now. Just add pin on the joints. So I want to add 1 there. Okay, and I'm going to move 3D in, and then I'm going to just move it a bit, not much, good, and that, just a bit. Alright, so you can see that, you can notice that perspective. You just add it. Okay, and of course you can do more. You can go crazy about it and add smile and so on. Okay, that's done. So that's how you can add an extra animation to the subject. And let's go back to our controller. Alright, so I will just close this thing there. Let's say just hide it. The next one is the desk. You don't need to mind this one here. It's a desk. So for instance, if this is on and you want to make adjustment to this desk over there, and you can change the position. Just hide it again. You can move the angle of that to blend. Set it back to 0 and 0. Put that on. So if you want to move it, you can do those things. Alright? Something like that. You can do that. And you can also, of course, scale that. So it's done, actually. And the next thing for us to do now is go to the export. And this is where the work begins. And you can go to controller. So I'm going to tell you what is there. And you have the text here. So what this means, focus on text. When you click that, so towards the time that the text is going to appear, the artwork is going to be out of focus. Alright, and then text will come in and then animate, and when it wants to zoom out, and then somewhere there it's going to be on, on focus, everything. So if you want to animate that, if you want to add it to the animation, you can do that. Focus on text. That's it. And another one is you can activate depth of field. When you click that, you will notice that the text will be the one that is out of focus because of the difference in Z space. And let's say we something like that. You can see if we hide it, depth of field, everything is sharp. If you activate that, so the center area is in focus. And of course you can increase the amount of the depth of field, like the aperture. You can increase that to an insane. Okay, you can see, the amount of the blur, and if you bring it down to 300, it becomes softer. So I leave it at 600. And you can also move the focus area. Let's say I want to change. You can hold down your shift key and then move it. See, it's moving. It's more focused on the other side. And you can also move it back. See that? And it's more focused on this area. So you can do all that. And let's just deactivate it. That's done. And now we have to go for the lights. So let's get to the beginning somewhere here. Somewhere there. So we have the global color, the global light color. So you can change that if you want to. You can do that. And you can increase the intensity of the light and also of the shadow. This is for the light and that one is for the shadow. So let's say we want to really increase that. See the result? So you can go high. Alright, that's insane. Get it down. And the shadow, if you want to increase the shadow, you can see that already popping out, and also at the back. Okay, you can really see it now. Alright. So just move it back to default, which is 50. And then we have the light spot. So that's this spot here. So you can increase the intensity of that. Okay, and this one is the range. This is more narrow, more wider. Alright, so that's what you can do with that. And the next one is ambience. So that's the light that is hitting on these areas of the 3D, like the front and the other side. For instance, we can change the color. Have that there. Okay, so this is the amount of the light that transmits those colors. And if you want to really enhance the way the material responds to that light, you can do that. Okay, you can do that there. So this one affects the entire environment. Okay, the diffuse and this and the specular. And now for the bounce. So if you want it very bright, very vibrant, so I just have to reduce that value. Let's say I put 10. It becomes brighter. Very bright. And of course when you turn to, then you can actually see that over there. Alright, so let's put it back to the default value. And I'm just going to change this one to back to white. Okay, that's for the light, the shadows. And now the next thing we have to do is for the desk. So if you want to change, to replace the desk and the floor, all you have to do is go back to there, project, and then go to place texture, double click desk, and then you can add your own material, and then go to floor, and then you can add your own material. Alright, you can do that and replace it with yours. So this package contains some materials for you can choose from. Okay, first of all, you have the paper shadow. You can hide it or you can display it. And here you have the desk texture. You can hide the one, and then you can display the plain paper. See that? You can just use pure white. So if you want everything to blend in, you can just hide the shadow of the main artwork area. And let's say I want to choose a different texture, or I can do that. You can choose a different one. See that? Okay. So that's it. And if you want to hide the desk entirely, you can uncheck that. You have desk display. And when you do that, the expression is going to make the paper, the artwork area to lap on the plane. When you take that out, it's now lapped on the plane. When you put it back in, it's going to go down, and then the desk is going to appear. And of course, you can control the height of the desk. So if you go positive, then you go higher. If you go negative, you're bringing it back up. You're making it smaller. And the good thing is, this 3D doesn't run with ray trace. Just a classic 3D of After Effects. So that means you won't have the issue that your After Effects doesn't support the video card you're using. You won't have that issue with this item. Alright, you can bring that up. So let's put it back to 70. Alright, and let's use the first texture. And now we're going to change the texture for the floor. All right. First, you can actually adjust the scale. You can scale it up and scale it down. All right. And then you can choose So you can choose which one you want. I'm going to go to 2. Okay, so that's done. To add audio, go to Project, place audio file, and you can drag and drop your audio file here. Or you can go to Export, Audio, and place your audio file here. And to edit the text, go to the text area, and you can choose from these titles. Title 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can just double click it and go to title and message. You can edit the text there, add your own. All right. You can do that. And you can go to the message. Then you can also feel free to use your own text. You can do that. And when you're ready, that's done. You can add your text there. And Now let's go back to, just close all these ones. In this completion video, I'm going to show you how you can add your own signature and also how you can render the final video. Go to Export towards the end after Edit Text, which is the title box. When you've chosen the one that you want to use, the next thing for you to do is go to Signature Paper, and then make the layer visible and also activate the sound. Open the composition and open it again for Add Signature. You're going to find 3 layers. The first one is for you to add date if you want to. The second one is for you to change the text to become your signature. You can add your name there. Or you can use custom signature drawn by you. So go to the layer drawn signature, double click that, select brush, use hard brush and change the diameter. You can increase or decrease that, but I recommend leaving it at 10. And then make sure that Paint tab is open. If it's not there, go to Window, Paint. Now change the duration to constant. And make sure that the slider is at the beginning. You can press Home key at the beginning of the timeline, and then you can add the signature. When you're done, close that tab. You'll find it here, and you can reposition the date in case if you're going to use it. You can also change the size. All right. Close that tab for Add Signature. And here, you're going to find the revealing of that. So if you want to extend it, you can move this keyframe, make it longer. But make sure that you watch out for the export as you extend the duration of the signature animation. So I recommend not going beyond exit. So you check that out, you can move it there. Of course, you can also go farther away from that. You still have like 2 seconds from here to the end. Alright, so this is it for adding your own signature. Looking good. What I'm going to show you now is the exporting of the final work. So let's go back to Artwork, go to Controller, open the Effect Control, and go to Quality Level and increase it to 1000. Let's just zoom in a bit. So for you to improve the final quality, you can increase that to 1000. Yeah, this is it. And then the next thing for you to do, go to Pixels Blend. You can see those marks. You can actually blend that. You can go from 0 point something to 1.2. So I'll just leave that 1. And it's going to blend everything. So those lines are gone. When you're good to go, go back to Export. Change the resolution to full. And the next thing is activate the motion blur. Alright. and the composition is now ready. Go to composition and you can add to render queue, or you can use Adobe Anchor to render it out. So from here, go to best settings and you can change the resolution. So if you want 720, you can do that. If you want Full HD, you can do that. If you want 4K, you have that. If you want to go below that, 960, you can do the same. 960 by 540, you can do the same. So if this is what you want, make sure that you set this to best. Click OK. Go to output model and you can change it. So for CS5, you still have the MP4. It's not there anymore, so you're going to end up using lossless. If you're using CS5, you can add that. Click OK, and you can choose the location in your computer where you want to render, and then click render to render the final result. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any question whatsoever, you can get to us through our support page, and we're going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.